Students, I am Dr. Tanmoy Biswas. I welcome you all in my channel Chemistry, the Mystery of Molecules. So today's topic of discussion is greenhouse gases and ultimately one MCQ. So let's start. Before going to details, I want that you try a MCQ which is given in front of you. So please pause the video and try by yourself and write your answer in the comment box, and definitely during the discussion you will get your answer. So question is, which one gas mentioned below is not a greenhouse gas, student, and why? You have to answer. Okay, so let's start. Now, greenhouse gases. What is a greenhouse gas? Why some gases show the effect named as greenhouse effect? Actually, a greenhouse gas is a kind of a gas molecule which absorbs the radiated energy belongs to thermal or infrared range called greenhouse gas, and this phenomena is considered as a greenhouse effect. Now, what happened actually? Sun is the source of our every energy. So, from sun the heat comes in a radiation manner. It means it's a radiated heat. So when this heat fall on our earth, it absorbs and it produces another wavelength of heat, generally bigger, and that is radiated from the earth's surface, and that goes into the atmosphere, and in the atmosphere there are some gas molecules. For example, these carbon dioxide, water vapor, yes, water vapor, methane, nitrous oxide, ozone, CFC, etc. What they do, they absorb, they reflect the heat towards the earth again. Now, because nowadays, because of many discussion, you think greenhouse gases are villain, they are dangerous for us. It is not true, because without greenhouse gas, the average temperature of Earth's surface expected to be about minus 18 degrees centigrade rather than present average temperature 15 degrees centigrade. So from this data you can understand how much important it is. But question, where is the problem? The problem is excess amount of greenhouse gas, that is carbon dioxide mainly, present in the atmosphere due to irresponsible human activities. Okay, so what happens means, what greenhouse gas does, the consequence of greenhouse gas is global warming, and consequence of global warming is climate change. So excess of greenhouse gas result in the heat trapping and the planet became warmer. The average temperature of Earth increases due to the increase in greenhouse gases due to human activities like fossil fuel burning, deforestation and pollution. The main reason for CO2 increase is fossil fuel burning and deforestation, because we know that the carbon which was out of our atmosphere in the form of some hydrocarbon, coal, like that, was inside the soil. What we are doing, we are taking that out and burning it in presence of oxygen and producing carbon dioxide and releasing that carbon dioxide inside the atmosphere. Means we are dumping huge amount of CO2 on a regular basis into the atmosphere. That is the issue. And what about the pollution? For example, this pollution produces ozone, this nitrogen oxide, chlorofluorocarbons or CFC gas. So the consequences are melting of polar ice, which will elevate the sea level. Consequently, lots of coastal land will be consumed the ocean. What is the problem? See, the land extent of our earth is limited, and if ocean captures a huge amount of usable land, then that's a very much problem for a country as well as its citizen. For example, you are living in a coastal region. If the ocean consume your land, what is your way of income? Where is your home? Your everything is gone because of this. That's why there's obviously these affect the GDP, means gross domestic production of people very much. Second thing, it will result other climate calamities, like increase in temperature will result in stronger cyclone, and higher frequency, means number of cyclone per year will increase. This thing we have observed recently, that the cyclone like this Amphan, such kind of cyclones are coming more in number and they are damaging more and more. So consequently, food, means crops, people's home, many things are getting damaged, and that's also a big burden on countries' economic progress. Not only that, humans are also facing problem. Furthermore, increase this temperature may adverse the weather pattern and food production cycle. Means recently we have observed that heating means it's either very hot or very cold. Recently the Siberian zone or the Canada have observed or witnessed a huge amount of heating, which is not common for them. So because of that, many people have lost their life. Many, not only people, some animals are dying. Even this where water temperature, I mean ocean's temperature increase is becoming very much dangerous for the life of many ocean animals and or plants, and that is dangerous for the ocean ecosystem too. And because of these abnormal climate calamities like this, heavy, somewhere heavy rainfall, somewhere drought, is result affecting our food production cycle, and that's why these climate calamities are nowadays considered as climate security challenge. Okay, means for our earth's food security we need to fix our climate. And by the way, scientists are prescribing nowadays that seaweed cultivation could be a promising or means alternate thing in order to handle such kind of thing, because number of people, means the global population is increasing, food production decreases because of these climate calamities. So seaweed cultivation could be a potential option to supply food to some extent. I will not say complete, but to some extent to the people. I have already discussed and dedicated video, you may watch. Now, global warming actually is a natural phenomenon. It's happening, but excessive interference of human may accelerate the geological cycle. That is the issue, student, because global warming, it was there and it will happen, but excessive interference from our side. How? Because we, whatever means carbon thing we nature have fixed as a fossil fuel and isolated from the atmosphere, we are withdrawing that thing for our day-to-day energy demand. And we don't say that it's only our necessity, sometimes it's our greed. So consequently, we are interrupting too much on nature's geological cycle. And you know, when nature feels extremely disturbed, it re-established or stabilize itself in its own way, and that is the dangerous. So we say it's a climate calamities, but nature consider this thing a way to fix the problems which was introduced because of irresponsible human activities. Okay, so now the question is, why CO is not a greenhouse gas? Because CO is not considered as a primary or significant greenhouse gas due to weak but non-zero absorption of radiated energy in the infrared. So it's a very weak contributor, you may consider. However, it is capable to increase global warming by reacting certain chemical species like OH radical. These hydroxyl radicals are reactive oxygen species, and by the way, interesting thing is that in our body, because of metabolic processes or cell signaling, this OH radical produces, and they are important, but because of our unhealthy lifestyle, this extent of or amount of this OH radical becomes more and more, which results in aging, and that's why we use many antioxidants. So this OH radical is important both way. First of all, human body point of view, another thing, destruction of pollutant into the atmosphere. So in the atmosphere, which turn lead to an increasing concentration of primary greenhouse gas, most notably methane and ozone. If you look at methane, because methane is released in the atmosphere because of many reasons. For example, this livestock farming, means this cows releases methane during paddy agriculture, type agriculture, even some other geological phenomena. Nowadays another very dangerous issue is coming, that is methane cluster. Because of global warming and climate change, the trapped methane in the seabed in the form of a clusterate is coming out, and that is dangerous for this global warming and climate change. What nature do? Using this OH radical, nature destroys this methane and ultimately oxidize it into corresponding carbon dioxide, such that the global warming potential of the ultimate product is less. What do I mean? Means methane is more efficient for carbon, means global warming. You can see the data here. Methane is 84 times efficient for global warming for 20 years compared to carbon dioxide. Sorry, it should be compared to carbon dioxide. So that's why, and if we are able to utilize this methane clusterate and generate energy, then both way it's beneficial. For example, climate point of view, if you think that this global warming effect will be relatively lesser, and second thing, during the methane burning we can get energy, or we can convert this methane into methanol, which I have also discussed in another video. So that's another interesting thing also. So this OH radical is important in this case. Now question, what is the fate of atmospheric carbon monoxide? So as I told, this carbon monoxide, you can see, react with hydroxyl radical and produces carbon dioxide. This is also a gas and produces this hydrogen radical. Now this is also a reactive species, but it reacts ultimately. It's not that much dangerous. So now question maybe, why CO oxidation is easier? First of all, if you look at the oxidation state of carbon dioxide, this is actually +2. Okay, what is the stable oxidation state of carbon? It is +4. Okay, means carbon dioxide molecule. Now, so carbon dioxide, could CO2 be further oxidized? No, not possible. Why? Because the maximum oxidation state of carbon possible, that is +4 oxidation state, and this carbon monoxide oxidizes and produces this carbon dioxide, because this is the most stable oxidation state of carbon. And why hydroxyl radical is so reactive? If you look at this hydroxyl radical, the central oxygen having 7 electrons. I have already described the radicals are reactive, short-lived reaction intermediate. So consequently, this oxygen is electron deficient because of the 7 electron species, because oxygen is electronegative atom. It prefers to keep more electron density on itself, but because of these reactive intermediate species, it is not having that much electron density. So what it prefers to do? It prefers to take electron and get oxidized. So in this case, what it is doing? It is taking electron from this carbon monoxide molecule, and ultimately it is getting reduced and is oxidizing this carbon monoxide into carbon dioxide. So answer of this question, why hydroxyl radical is so reactive? Because it's a 7 electron species, that's why it's very reactive. Now let's come to our question, which one gas mentioned below is not a greenhouse gas and why? In this case, all are greenhouse gas, so except carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide is a very weak greenhouse gas, so actually you can say that, sir, you told not a greenhouse gas. Now student, remember, there is a tricks for MCQ. MCQ says that among 4, one is answer. It is that condition. So you have to check which one resembles closely to the question. It is true that sometimes question doesn't match exactly to the options, but you need to understand the concept of MCQ and you have to write answer. You can leave this question in the exam hall, but you will not get the marks. But if you attempt this is the closest right answer, so you will get the marks. Okay, and in this case, sometime you may be confused that, sir, you are saying water vapor, it is not a gas, it's a vapor. Why you consider it's a greenhouse gas? It's actually a greenhouse gas, student, but there is many type of debates there about this, that's why it's not focused. But please remember, water vapor is also a greenhouse gas. Okay, so this is the end of the discussion. Thanks for watching, and please remember, earth is our home. We must keep it clean and pollution free, otherwise including we along with our future generation will have to pay the price. So thank you again and take care. See you in my